now for a special KBRF Radio Sports streaming presentation. Tonight's game is proudly brought to you by Quality Toyota and your Quality Toyota player of the game. Nelson Auto Center and your Nelson starting lineups. Park Region and your Park Region scoreboard. Lake Region Healthcare and your Lake Region timeout. The Minnesota Motor Company and your Minnesota Motor Company halftime show. Viking Cafe and your Viking Cafe keys to the game. Orthopedic Sports and Physical Therapy Incorporated. Fergus Falls Monument. Otters Coaches. Fresh and Fancy at Mama Sheena's. American Federal Bank. FM Bank. Service Food. Unsted Plumbing and Heating. Splash Express. American Legion Post number 30. Lake Country Graphics. LB Homes. And by Running Stitches. Now let's head out for the pregame.
Fergus Falls Otters basketball is on the air. The Otter boys on the road tonight for a Central Lakes Conference matchup with their rivals to the north, the Detroit Lakes Lakers. A very pleasant good evening to you. I'm Bob Roars. Our on-site producer tonight is Dave Bishop. And thanks for joining us here on KJ Country 96.5 and also streaming on YouTube. This is a rematch from earlier this season, and honestly, that result was not very pretty. Detroit Lakes came into the Fergus gym and hung 100 points on the Otters back on December 12th. 105-80 was the final as everything went right that night for the Lakers. Everything went wrong for Fergus Falls, including an injury to Trenton Gillard. That was in the warm-ups. Just kind of shell-shocked, as Matt Johnson told us before that game. And that was it. That was part of a terrible start to the season also for Fergus Falls. The Otters beginning the year 8-6 and then 1-8. But since then, the Otters have gone to the hottest teams in the conference. They fought their way back to an overall record of 7-10. Along the way, the Otters upset a top 10 team in Class 4A Moorhead. We don't get to say that very often. They defeat Sartell last Friday, 45-43. And a couple big free throws late by Matt Johnson to close out that game. But then they've got a 41-19 lead over St. Cloud Tech at halftime Monday night. They hold on to win 66-64. The Otters right now are playing with confidence. They're getting contributions from seemingly everybody on the roster. In fact, they even saw one state basketball bowl that had the Otters receiving votes in the latest Class 3A rankings. That's almost unheard of with a team with a record of 7-10 overall, but obviously people are taking notice of the Otters' play since early January. As for Detroit Lakes, they're 10-5 overall, 4-3 in the Central Lakes Conference. It's the Lakers' first season as Central Lakes Conference members, and so far so good. They're definitely holding their own this season under head coach Brent Moss. Let's take a break. Our pregame show will continue. We'll visit with Fergus Falls head coach Matt Johnson, now in his 11th season with the Otters. Get his thoughts on tonight's rematch with Detroit Lakes. We'll be back in a moment. This is Otter Boys basketball on KJ Country 96.5 and Layton Media.
Need custom tees, hats, or uniforms? Let Lake Country Graphics bring your brand to life with top-quality screen printing and embroidery. Located on North Union Avenue in Fergus Falls. Call 998-4027 today.
Lake Region Healthcare joins you in shouting loud, cheering strong, and jumping for joy. Keeping our community healthy and spirited is the top priority at Lake Region Healthcare.
It's time to replace your old furnace. That old one has been a drain on your energy bill for far too long. Let Unsted Plumbing and Heating replace your old inefficient furnace with a new carrier system and help you and your checkbook rest easy. Unsted Plumbing and Heating, Fergus Falls.
Hi, I'm Heather Hickman, Executive Director for LB Homes in Fergus Falls. Seasons may change, but one truth remains: our compassionate, Christ-centered care at LB Browen Home. For over a century, we have served as His hands and feet. Every resident is welcomed as family, embraced with the dignity and kindness that Christ calls us to share. So whether you are seeking peace of mind or a trusted home for a loved one, you'll find it here. LB Browen Home, rooted in faith, serving with compassion, trusted for generations.
Fresh and Fancy at Mama Sheena's has a way better option than some overprocessed junk from the back of your freezer. They've got take and bake meals made fresh with real ingredients, and all you have to do is stick it in the oven. Fresh and Fancy, saving moms one dinner at a time.
For over 50 years, Ottertail Coaches has safely carried kids to school, to games, and back home again. Trusted by generations, they're proud to serve Fergus Falls and the surrounding area. Ottertail Coaches, safety, service, and dependability.
What's your number?
We've driven 57 miles to Quality Toyota to get a great deal.
and we've done it 13 times.
And on the pregame show, Matt Johnson, the Fergus Falls head coach, joining us. Hey, talk about 2 different seasons for you so far. The start this team got off to. What's changed? What has just kind of all come together here in the second half of the season?
A lot of the win-loss is so different. Obviously, we've been more consistent. We've played 36 minutes of good basketball against really good teams. And that was just gaining experience, learning how hard you have to play for 36 whole minutes, and kids stepping up and learning that. So really, I felt really good about this crew early. I wasn't snowballing anybody when we were 0-6, and I said, I think we have a really good team. I think at the end of the year we'll be right there. And so they've been consistent, great work ethic, great kids, and so I think it's their work, their consistency has helped them evolve, but not a lot's changed in terms of who they are.
Kids have really kind of settled into their roles now too, haven't they?
Yeah, I think that's a big piece of it. You look early at where kids were and how they're doing. Jacob Jensen's a good example. Through games, he wasn't a very good guy. He wasn't playing very good basketball. And settled in. Really has found his niche in being the ultimate worker, scoring for us, winning for us, loves and assists a bunch of games. Eston Bethel as a sophomore has gained a lot of valuable experience. Nolan Felster's really shooting it well. Micah Johnson's led well as a senior. Cam Diedrich's led well as a senior. Also, those guys have really settled into their leadership roles. A kid like Eli Fullhart, who was kind of thrown to it when Trenton got hurt early, has settled in and rebounded really well for us. So yeah, identifying roles, figuring out how I fit, where my minutes coming from, how do I need to contribute. That stuff has gelled and made us a better team.
And when you play Detroit Lakes, what was it, like week 3 of the season or game 3 of the season, I mean, it's a totally different outlook, right? You almost throw that one out the window. I mean, they hung 105 on you that game, but what were the takeaways? What's changed in your eyes?
So that was the game Trenton got hurt in warm-ups. And so everything you've talked, game 3, you're not game planning a whole lot. You're trying to figure out who you are. I thought we were shell-shocked by his injury through 2 games. He was our leading scorer and our leading rebounder. So you lost a guy that meant a lot to us at that time, and we didn't handle that well. We didn't, the biggest thing in that game is we didn't rebound. They shot well, but not so well that we should have got blasted like that. And so for us, really taking care of the basketball, we didn't do a great job of that, and then we didn't rebound the ball. So every time they missed, we did 11 rebounds at some unheard of number. Not one to be proud of. And certainly areas for us to grow, and I think we've gotten better in those areas.
In a rivalry game with Detroit Lakes, the schools know each other so well, the kids know each other so well. If you notice, just a little extra pep during whatever practice. I know it's hard to even get a practice in these days, but a little more pep, and especially now that it is a conference game.
I would say conference. I wouldn't say that DL means any more to us than the other conference teams we play. We get so familiar with all of them. I'd like to say we probably have more history with some of the other teams, the Alexandrians, some of the St. Croix area schools are recording. So I would say there's other schools that maybe our guys get more excited for, but it's a good Detroit Lakes team, and our guys are really talk about the consistency, and they work the same in practice, whether we won by 20 or lost by 20, or whether it's a second practice or a first of a week. They just show up and work. So I would say they're focused and ready, and I'm excited to see how that translates into the game.
Keys tonight against Detroit Lakes.
Got to take care of the basketball. Got to rebound the ball. And you got to play in transition.
They're going to try and run.
They're fast. Yep, they get after it. They want to shoot 1,000 threes a game, and they do a good job of hunting those and getting those shots. So we got to sprint back defensively and be able to guard.
All right, good luck. Go get them.
All right, appreciate it.
Thanks. And that's Matt Johnson, the head coach of the Otters, joining us on our pregame show. And we'll continue in a moment. Keys to the game coming up. This is Fergus Falls Otter Boys Basketball on KJ Country 96.5 and Lake Media.
The 2025 model year closeout sale continues at Minnesota Motor Company in Fergus Falls. They have 2 remaining Buick Envistas that would definitely cheer up your winter blues. With these great deals, you can get into a new, sporty, reliable vehicle for just over $25,000. Buick, exceptional by design. South Pebble Lake Road, Fergus Falls.
Make OSPTI your choice for outpatient rehabilitation and sports injuries with locations in Fergus Falls and Breckenridge. Orthopedic and sports physical therapy is the right choice for your recovery. Live your best life. Trust the experts at OSPTI.
Fresh and Fancy at Mama Sheena's has a way better option than some overprocessed junk from the back of your freezer. They've got take and bake meals made fresh with real ingredients, and all you have to do is stick it in the oven. Fresh and Fancy, saving moms one dinner at a time.
At Fergus Falls Monument Company, Ryan and Mike want you to design a personal memorial for your loved one that will fully express your personal sentiment and that of your loved one. Fergus Falls Monument on Pebble Lake Road, online, foreverstonememorials.com.
At American Federal Bank, they're proud sponsors of local high school athletics. Just like their student athletes, American Federal is here to go the extra mile for you. American Federal Bank, investing in our community one play at a time. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Need custom tees, hats, or uniforms? Let Lake Country Graphics bring your brand to life with top quality screen printing and embroidery. Located on North Union Avenue in Fergus Falls. Call 998-4027 today.
Here's to a great season for all our favorite high school athletes. American Legion is a favorite too and serves up everyone's favorite barbecued ribs. American Legion of Fergus Falls, open each Wednesday through Saturday on Pebble Lake Road in Fergus Falls.
Bob Royce and Dave Bishop back with you here in Detroit Lakes. The Otter boys getting set to take on Detroit Lakes in the Central Lakes Conference matchup tonight. Big one for both teams. Fergus Falls, of course, 6-2 over their last 8 games, getting them back to an overall record of 7-10 on the season. It's a whole different ball club as they go into this one tonight, just playing with much more confidence, and it's definitely showing in the win column as they move this season along. Just a handful of games left to go in the regular season. Time now to take a look at our keys to the game and some of the big keys that the coach is mentioned to us in our pregame chat there. Turnovers. Got to take care of the basketball against Detroit Lakes because they're going to try and go in transition. They're going to try and convert those turnovers into points. So that's going to be something to watch for this evening. The other key is rebound the basketball. Simple as that. That's something that did not happen back in the third game of the season when Detroit Lakes came into Fergus Falls and kind of ran the Otters right off the floor. Otters just simply weren't prepared for it at that point. In fact, Matt Johnson told us, didn't even look at the tape after that game. Final result came in. He said, "It's not at all who this team is." Threw it out the window and starting over at that point. And I talked about the transition game for Detroit Lakes. How do they handle that? How do they slow down the Lakers and keep them in front, get them in a half-court set where the Otters can really key in on defense? So those are your keys to the game tonight. Central Lakes Conference standings look something like this. Coming into tonight, Alexandria leading things in conference play with a perfect 10-0 record. They're 13-3 overall. Sartell is next at 8-2. Otters just knocked them off a few days ago. They're 11-5 overall. St. Cloud Apollo at 5-5. Wilmer's at 4-4. Detroit Lakes is at 4-3. Otters are at 5-6 right now in conference play, followed by Brainerd at 4-5. St. Cloud Tech 4-7. Sauk Rapids Rice at 3-8, and Ricori at 2-9. Other games going on around the region tonight, around our listening area. Heart of Lakes Conference games. Minnewaska is taking on Perham. Breckenridge traveling to Norman County East, Ewell and Hitterdall. Central Lakes Conference games tonight. Sartell is at Alexandria, and St. Cloud Apollo is traveling to Brainerd. In the Little 8 Conference tonight, Brandon Evansville is playing at Lake Park. Audubon Hillcrest is at Rothsay. Parkridge Prairie is at Upsala. Battle Lake is at Ferndale. And games in the Park Region Conference tonight. Swanville is at Sabika. Bertha Hewitt is at Henning. And Long Prairie Gray Eagle is at Pillager. Of course, we always want to take a moment, say thanks to our sponsors that help us out with coverage all season long. Starting lineups brought to you by Nelson Auto Center, Highway 210 West in Fergus Falls. Those will be coming to you momentarily. Timeouts tonight brought to you by Lake Region Healthcare. Park Region sponsors our scoreboard. Park Region, service beyond the connection. Our halftime show brought to you by Minnesota Motor Company, South Pebble Lake Road in Fergus Falls. Our player of the game brought to you by Quality Toyota and Lake Country Graphics. Running Stitches Embroidery is on board tonight as well. Running Stitches, the local choice for embroidery and screen printing in Fergus Falls. That's Running Stitches Embroidery. Doesn't look like we're going to get a national anthem in tonight. Let's take another short break. Tip-off right around the corner. Back with more in a moment. Fergus Falls, Detroit Lakes, and boys basketball. This is Hoops on KJ Country 96.5.
Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls is proud to sponsor area athletics. Nelson Auto knows the value of a good team, and we'd like to invite you in to meet our team. See how our team takes care of you and your family. Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls.
Looking to buy, build, or refinance? Trust Alicia Helgeson at FM Bank in Fergus Falls. With expert guidance and local know-how, she makes the mortgage process smooth and stress-free. Call Alicia or apply online at mybankfm.com today. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
The key to a great meal is at the Viking Cafe of Fergus Falls. The Viking Cafe with Minnesota's best omelet, manhole cover pancakes, and burgers that will fill your appetite. The key to a great breakfast and lunch is at the Viking Cafe, downtown Fergus Falls.
Every team has a home field advantage. Make yours the internet from Park Region. With speeds that keep up with the pace of the game and the reliability to never miss a play, you'll always be connected. Get the internet that's always in your corner. Park Region, your home team's internet advantage.
What's your number?
We drove 5.2 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota.
I drove 7 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota.
Quality Toyota.
Lake Region Healthcare is proud to be trusted and recommended by parents and coaches, athletes, and families. Keeping healthcare close to home for local athletes and all their fans. Find us online at lrhc.org.
Need custom tees, hats, or uniforms? Let Lake Country Graphics bring your brand to life with top quality screen printing and embroidery. Located on North Union Avenue in Fergus Falls. Call 998-4027 today.
Hi, I'm Heather Hickman, Executive Director for LB Homes in Fergus Falls. Seasons may change, but one truth remains: our compassionate, Christ-centered care at LB Browen Home. For over a century, we have served as His hands and feet. Every resident is welcomed as family, embraced with the dignity and kindness that Christ calls us to share. So whether you are seeking peace of mind or a trusted home for a loved one, you'll find it here. LB Browen Home, rooted in faith, serving with compassion, trusted for generations.
Fresh and Fancy at Mama Sheena's has a way better option than some overprocessed junk from the back of your freezer. They've got take and bake meals made fresh with real ingredients, and all you have to do is stick it in the oven. Fresh and Fancy, saving moms one dinner at a time.
We are underway in Detroit Lakes. Fergus Falls in their home road white jerseys, I should say. They're going to be going from left to right in front of us. Welcome to our coverage tonight. Bob Roars, Dave Bishop with you here in Detroit Lakes. Full court pressure coming from Detroit Lakes. Here's Eston Bethel in the backcourt, brings it across. We'll get the starting lineup set for you in a moment, brought to you by Nelson Auto Center. Otters into the front court. This is Micah Johnson. Eston Bethel goes off on the left wing. Bad pass, tipped away. Bethel recovers here. We're just underway here from Detroit Lakes. Delsa drops it off. There's a nice pass underneath, though, right between the legs. And Detroit Lakes comes back the other way. Ball gets poked away. Cam Wiederick with the touch and out of bounds. Starting lineups tonight for the Otters, brought to you by Nelson Auto Center, Fergus Falls, Highway 210 West. Eston Bethel, the 5'10 sophomore. Cam Wiederick is a 5'10 senior. Micah Johnson, a 6'1 senior co-captain. Three-point attempt from Detroit Lakes. That one rims off. Tip once, twice, rebound. Push from behind going against the Otters. We'll check the foul here for you. And Bethel's going to pick up his first personal foul. Jacob Jentz, 6'4 junior, rounds out the starting lineup for the Otters tonight. Again, Bethel, Wiederick, Felstill, Johnson, and Jentz. Meanwhile, Detroit Lakes comes out with Davian Bauer and Demarion Ross, Dawson Von Ruden, Brendan Severson, and Ben Buboltz. Here's a shot in the paint, up and good. That's Davion Bauer, picks up the two, and it's 2-0 DL. Full court pressure remains from the Lakers here. There's a kick ball in the backcourt by Detroit Lakes, and Otters will try one more time. Again, starting lineups brought to you by Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls, Highway 210 West. Full court pressure remains. Here's Bethel, going to handle across the 10-second line. Quickly up court, Jentz off the break. He's got the bucket, and we're tied at 2. Nice look up court by Eston Bethel. Here's Demarion Ross, the 6'3 senior, has that one poked away. Feldstuhl comes away. Nolan back across. Going to work it into the half court. Micah Johnson on the left wing. Feldstuhl's got it on the left side. Swings it across. Bethel. Eston. Nice strong move. Works his way into the paint. Lost the handle. Had it tipped away and then threw it away. Turnover goes against the Otters. Unofficially, first one I've got tonight. We're tied at 2 in the early going with 16:24 remaining in the first half. Thanks for being with us tonight. Here's Demarion Ross off on the right wing. Guarded by Feldstuhl. Drops it off Von Ruden. Von Ruden back to Ross. That's the jumper from the corner. Would have been a 3 ball. Missing. Weider comes away with the rebound for the Otters. Otters want to try tempo in this one as best as they can. Here's Micah Johnson. And get things set in the half court. Feldstuhl's got it in the right wing. Swings it down for Wiederick in the right corner. Back up top. There's Eston. Swings over. Micah Johnson going to pop a 3. That one's good. Buried it. Micah Johnson, a 3-pointer, playing outstanding basketball for the Otters. They've got a 5-2 lead, and it's steal back the other way. Steal by Wiederick, and now he gives it up the other way. Here's an easy bucket coming the other way for Davian Bauer. He's got all 4 of the Detroit Lakes points, and it's 5-4 Otters. More full court pressure. Jentz comes up. Helps Feldstuhl. Now Micah Johnson's going to get it across the 10-second line. Here's Eston Bethel. Driving to the left. Spins off glass. Count it. And a foul. Eston Bethel, that quick first step. He cashes in for the hoop. He'll go to the line for the 3-point play attempt. Foul's going against Ben Buboltz for Detroit Lakes. First foul, first team foul. And now Bethel going to the free throw line. How good has this young man been all season long as he gets the free throw? 8-4 our score. Otters with that 4-point advantage. Here comes Detroit Lakes. Again, it was a rout the first time they met in the Fergus gym. Detroit Lakes handled them easily. Buboltz sends it into the corner. 3-point attempt rims off. Long rebound comes down to the Otters. Feldstuhl tracks it down finally. Davian Bauer couldn't get it to go. Otters quickly up court. They threw it away. Third turnover unofficially for Fergus Falls. Feldstuhl tried to go to Micah Johnson, who's only 6'1", and that pass was about 10.5. So Detroit Lakes basketball. Trailing 8-4. Lakers in their home reds as usual, going left to right in front of us here, or right to left I should say. Got to check myself directionally. Brendan Severson, here's a nice backdoor cut underneath. Foul on the play, shot doesn't go, but Dawson Von Ruden will go to the free throw line and shoot a pair. Foul goes on Eston Bethel, and very quick. That's 2 on Eston, unfortunately. Big Phil Hansen out there working tonight. Phil Hansen, one of our lead officials. How about that? The Buffalo Bill, NDSU, great. Von Ruden's free throw attempt. Rims off, no good. Changes for the Otters. Eli Fullhart, 6'4" sophomore, checks into the game. Second attempt coming here for Von Ruden. Free throw was good, got it. 8-5 our score. Otters with that 3-point advantage. Owen Lipton's checked in for Detroit Lakes, by the way. He's a 6'3" junior. Fouled in the backcourt against the Lakers. And that one's going to be Brendan Severson picks up his first. Second team foul against the Lakers. So we're tying in team fouls 2 apiece. Otters get it inbound. More full court pressure. We're going to see this probably all night long from Detroit Lakes. Here's Fullhart. They handle the pressure. Nice pass inside. Jentz lost the handle, recovers, but goes up and scores. Jacob Jentz now with 4 points in the game. Otters with a 10-5 lead. Hand check by Wiederick, getting away with it. Bauer kicks it back outside. Now they try to go to Severson down in the block, and it's going to stay with Detroit Lakes. Ball got tipped out of bounds. Nice defense from behind by Jentz. Detroit Lakes will inbound left side of the hoop. 14-13 here on our Park Region scoreboard remaining in the first half. Von Ruden, pump fake, fires up to 3 from the left side. No good. Rebound. Nice job there by Fullhart. Great position by Eli. Handles the pressure, but he traveled. Kind of took that one extra hop step before giving it up. So another turnover against Fergus Falls. Unofficially, I've got them for 4. So Detroit Lakes now trailing by 5 at 10-5. Outside jumper. That's Lipton. Missed the shot. Rebound comes down to Micah Johnson. Good position again by the Otters. Even off the misses, Detroit Lakes keeping the pressure on. Here's Wiederick. Swings in the corner. Felstill fires it underneath. Jentz is open underneath and scores. That's a great look by the Otters. Keep feeding Jentz. He's hot. He's got 6 in the ball game. Otter lead goes to 12-5. Here's Lipton. Powers his way up for a bucket. His first bucket. 12-7 Fergus Falls. On the Park Region scoreboard. Home run pass to Jentz. Pump fake. Goes up. He got fouled. No, traveled. Came down with the basketball. Shuffled the feet before he went up with the shot. So another turnover. That's 5 against the Otters. Wholesale changes coming here for DL. Brock Jones. Check and see who else came into the ball game here. Here's a drive. Lipton has to give up the dribble. Now a backdoor cut into the paint. Ball got kicked out of bounds. Went off the leg of Brock Jones. And out of bounds, it belongs to Fergus Falls. Third turnover against the Lakers unofficially. Caden Chasborn's checked into the game also for DL. Look at this full court pressure from the Lakers. Otters with that 12-7 lead. In the backcourt, Wiederick gets it to Jentz. They finally get it across the 10-second line. Jentz looking for a backdoor cut, finds Wiederick. Throws it back to the corner. Nice rotation by the Otters. 3-ball missed out there by Feldstuhl. Long rebound into the hands of DL. Lakers trailing by 5. Three-pointer by Von Ruden. Buries it. Dawson Von Ruden. He's got 4 points in the ball game. First 3 for Detroit Lakes, and they're back within 2 with 12-10. Not sure what the whistle was for. Substitution for Detroit Lakes. Eli Hatch, 6'1 senior, checks in for the Lakers. Bethel's going to come back in for Wiederick, and Eston's got to play pretty carefully out there. He's got 2 fouls in the early going. They go the home run route again. Jentz on the fly pattern. Takes the bump, goes up, missed the shot. Can't believe we didn't get a foul. Matt Johnson not at all happy with that. Should have been a foul. Here's an outside jumper, 3-ball from straight on. Missed. Otters, though, kick it up. No, off Detroit Lakes. They say off the leg of Eli Hatch. Fergus Falls basketball. Matt kind of discussing with Phil Hansen down there. Phil's shaking the head. Nope, no foul. Feldstuhl swings it over to Eston Bethel. They're going to break the 10-second line. Fullhart up ahead. Micah Johnson back to Fullhart. He's on the right wing. In the cut, Feldstuhl had it right in his hands. Ball goes out of bounds. Another turnover against Fergus Falls. So the things that Matt Johnson was talking about in our pregame show, not really happening for the Otters right now, though they do have a 2-point lead at 12-10. Here's Bauer into the front court. Lipton's got it on the right wing. Cross-court pass. This is Hatch. Hatch couple dribbles. He's looking for help. Feeds it down low. Brock Jones. He's still got it on the elbow. Back out for Hatch. Thinking about the 3. Drives into the paint. Now in trouble. Kicks back outside. Here's Lipton. Owen Lipton gives it up. Nearly has it poked away. Here's an outside jumper from Detroit Lakes. That's a 3-ball. Missed by Chasborn. Rebound comes down to DL. Bauer went up with it. Missed his shot. Jentz comes away with the rebound. Here's Jacob now working in the backcourt. Drops it off. Here's Micah. Swings it over for Feldstuhl. Nolan, little floater from the left side. Got it. That's a pretty play. Nolan Feldstuhl, his first bucket of the game. And the Otters' point lead goes to 4 now. 14-10 our score on the Park Region scoreboard. 3-ball from the left side from DL. No good. Rebound for the Otters. Here comes Bethel. Micah Johnson now. Nice pass up court to Fullhart. Missed the shot. He got fouled. He's going to go to the line. Tell you what, give the Otters some credit here. So goaltending's the call. No foul. Goaltending's the call. Fullhart's going to get the bucket, his first bucket of the game. And the lead goes to 6 now. 16-10 for the Otters on the Park Region scoreboard. Here's Ben Buboltz in the paint. Swings that one into the corner. Chasborn, left baseline. Nice defense. Solid defense by Cam Wiederick. Von Ruden's going to pop a three from the wing, hit another one. He's got 7 points in the ball game, his second three. Lakers back within three. It's 16-13. There's Bethel in the backcourt. Eston handles the pressure. Micah Johnson on the right wing. He says, why not? You're going to leave me open. He airballed it. Recovered there by Gents. Nice job. Wiederick comes away. Eston Bethel, he's going to pop a three from straight on and hit. Eston Bethel now with 6 points, his first three. Otters lead back at 6 at 19-13 on the Park Region scoreboard. Another three-point miss from Detroit Lakes. They like those, but when they're not going in, that could make for a long night. Micah Johnson in the backcourt for Fergus Falls. Works his way across, looking for a screen from Gents. Gets a partial screen, takes a bump. They try to go to Gents in the paint. Can't get it there, taken away by the Lakers. Another turnover. Here's Von Ruden for DL, top of the key. Drives, outside jumper. Chasborn pops a three, missed it. Look at Fullhart go up, and he got fouled from behind. Eli Fullhart, the sophomore, skying for that rebound. Check and see who the foul was on. It's one thing I'm not finding. DL's got a lot of things going on here scoreboard-wise. Pass up court, Micah Johnson, that's an easy two. Micah Johnson on the scoreboard again. 5 points for him. Nice job by the Otters. Biggest lead of the night, 21-13 on the Park Region scoreboard. Here's an outside jumper. Severson, three, missed it. Rebound comes down to Wiederick. Stolen away by the Lakers in the backcourt. Up for the shot, missing it was Ross. Bethel had, the only way he could defend was going straight up, and that's exactly what he did. Here's Jensen in the backcourt, in trouble, feeds to Bethel. Here's Eston, takes a bump on the baseline. Back up top, here's Jents. And a foul being called on Detroit Lakes, number 21, Brendan Severson. That's going to be his second. And a timeout on the floor. Detroit Lakes wants to talk it over. 9:07 remaining on the Park Region scoreboard. Our score, Fergus Falls 21, Detroit Lakes 13. Timeouts tonight brought to you by Lake Region Healthcare. Back in a moment. This is boys high school basketball. KJ Country 96.5.
Have you ever experienced love at first drive? At Minnesota Motor Company in Fergus Falls, that spark happens every day when customers get behind the wheel of a new Chevy or Buick vehicle. You'll also fall in love with how you'll be treated. Minnesota Motor Company is a dealership that provides honest deals and small-town care that lasts long after you drive off the lot. Find your new love today.
Minnesota Motor.
South Pebble Lake Road, Fergus Falls.
Here's to a great season for all our favorite high school athletes. American Legion is a favorite too and serves up everyone's favorite barbecued ribs. American Legion of Fergus Falls, open each Wednesday through Saturday on Pebble Lake Road in Fergus Falls.
Out of the Lake Region timeout, Fergus Falls gives it up one more time. Detroit Lakes comes back, trailing by 9. Outside jumper, good. Von Ruden hit his third three-pointer here in the first half. And the Lakers are back within 5 at 21-16. Here's Eston Bethel into the front court. Jents has it off his fingertips, lost the handle. Here come the Lakers back again. Great feed to Von Ruden, goes up and scores. Got a great pass, and Matt Johnson says let's talk it over as well. Von Ruden having a night here. On the Park Region scoreboard, 21-18 our score. Fergus Falls with a timeout. We'll break. This is high school basketball on KJ Country 96.5.
Lake Region Healthcare knows what all coaches know. It takes tons of teamwork, great amounts of grit, and heaps of hustle to triumph. Lake Region Healthcare, supporting and celebrating our high school athletes.
It's time to replace your old furnace. That old one has been a drain on your energy bill for far too long. Let Otters Plumbing and Heating replace your old inefficient furnace with a new carrier system and help you and your checkbook rest easy. Otters Plumbing and Heating, Fergus Falls.
At Fergus Falls Monument Company, Ryan and Mike want you to design a personal memorial for your loved one that will fully express your personal sentiment and that of your loved one. Fergus Falls Monument on Pebble Lake Road, online, foreverstonememorials.com.
On the Park Region scoreboard, Otters have seen their lead trimmed to just 3, 21-18. Out of the timeout, Otters basketball. This is Wiederick, goes to Eston Bethel in the left corner. Quick first step, drives baseline, feeds for Jentz, spins in the paint, fakes once, twice, got fouled, can't get the shot to go. It'll go to the line and shoot a pair. Another foul going to Brendan Severson. That's 3 on Brendan. That's big. So 2 on Eston Bethel for Fergus Falls, but more importantly, Brendan Severson, the 6'4 senior, picks up his 3rd personal foul. And now Jacob Jentz at the free throw line, doesn't get that one. More substitutions for the Lakers. Owen Lipton checking back in. Caden Chasborn into the game as well. Otters on the floor right now with their starting 5. Getting some nice minutes tonight from Eli Fullhart. Second free throw good by Jentz. He's got 7 points in the ball game. 22-18 on the Park Region scoreboard. Here come the Lakers back. Chasborn, 3-pointer from the left corner, buried it. They're living and dying by the 3 tonight in Detroit Lakes, and it's getting them back in the ball game. 22-21. Otters come right back with a bucket. Still the 3-point lead, 24-21. Here's a 3. This is Ross, buries a 3 ball. Again, they're going to fire it a lot, and we're all tied up at 24. 24 all. Otters handle the pressure. Here's an outside jumper. Bethel a 3, gets another one. He's got 9 points in the game. 27-24. Otters leading by 3. 7.5 to go here in the first half. That's a travel by Von Ruden, no call, but picked clean. Fell still hustling. Now on the floor again. Jentz comes away with the loose ball for the Otters. Here's a drive. Micah Johnson, floater off glass, doesn't get it. Rebound comes down to Detroit Lakes. Dawson Von Ruden quickly into the front court. Von Ruden on the right wing, drops it down low. This is Lipton. Owens pass down to the baseline, kick out. This is Ross. Ross drives into the paint, floater left hand, hangs on the rim, can't get it. Ball gets tipped out of bounds, and it'll stay with the Lakers. 27-24, 6:51 to go here until halftime on the Park Region scoreboard. Minnesota Motor Company halftime show coming up. Inbounded, Lakers have it. Von Ruden thinking about another 3, now drives, couple dribbles. Back outside, Chasborn. Here's Davian Bowers, had a nice first half. Bauer pulls up, 7-footer on the right side, swished it home. He's got 6 points in the game, back to a 1-point game for the Otters at 27-26. Like the way the Otters are playing. Again, lost by 25 the first time these teams played. 3rd game of the season. Cam Wiederick's first shot attempt. That's a 3 ball, and he buried it. Cam Wiederick says, I can do that too. Back to a 4-point game for Fergus Falls, 30-26. Moss going to fire a 3, or Ross rather, no good. Rebound comes down. Jentz is going to pick up a foul. Kind of grabbed him on the rebound. Owen Lipton takes the fall. First foul against Jentz. Micah Johnson comes out of the game for Fergus Falls. Eli Fullhart back in. Eli Hatch back in for Detroit Lakes. Halftime score from the girls' game at Fergus Falls. Otters leading Wilmer 29-28. There's an outright 3 from Hatch. He gets himself on the scoreboard, gets them back within 1. 30-29. Ball goes out of bounds, or a foul in the backcourt. What do we got? They're going to get Ross with a foul. DeMarian's first. 6-team foul against Detroit Lakes. Otters are just 3 so far here in the opening half. Feldstuhl will inbound. Looking for help, finds it. Wiederick, no, lost the handle, has it poked out of his hand. 11 turnovers unofficially for Fergus Falls. Ross going to pop a 3. Right wing, came up short. Follows his own miss, though. Comes inside, and he got fouled. I hope that's on Jentz, just because I don't want to see 3 on Eston Bethel. See what we have. They give to Jentz. Jacob picks up his second, so he's got 2. Bethel's got 2. Substitution, Isaac Mack checking into the game, 6'2 senior, his first appearance tonight. Lakers inbounding, right side of the hoop. Ross triggers. This is Bauer. Chasborn buries the 3. Caden Chasborn, wow. And it's a 2-point lead for DL. Steele on the other side. DL comes right back for it. Here's a straight-on three by Lipton. In and out. Rebound comes down to Mack. 32-30. Lakers with that 2-point advantage now. Otters quickly into the front court. Three ball. That one's missing. Fighting for the rebound. Otters can't come away. Here comes DL on the run. Chasborn from the left corner. Ross thinks about it. Now the nice feed underneath, but great defense by the Otters. Great defense. Now the scrum in the backcourt, and they say a push is going to come with Fergus Falls. Foul on the Otters. Trying to see who is that. Fell still picking it up. Micah Johnson picks up the personal foul. Micah's first. So here's DL with the basketball and a 2-point lead and 5 minutes remaining in the opening half. 32-30 our score on the Park Region scoreboard. Hatch is going to fire up a three. Missed the shot. Ross follows up and scores. Murray and Ross now 5 points in this game. It was easy pickings there. Leads at 4 for Detroit Lakes. 34-30. Here's Micah Johnson in the backcourt. Guarded by Hatch. Micah gets it across. Nearly has it stolen away. Ball goes out of bounds right into the Detroit Lakes bench. Brett Moss calling out defensive instructions on his sideline, on his bench. Otters will inbound. This is Fellstool. Somebody's got to get open finally. That's Eston Bethel. Here's Eston, top of the key. Now the strong drive right down the boulevard and scores. Eston Bethel now with 11 points in the half. Otters back within 2 at 34-32. Outside jumper from DL missing. Mack comes away with the rebound. Micah Johnson to Eston Bethel. Otters going for the tie, possibly a lead. Fellstool popping a three, right side. No good. Long rebound. Back to the Otters. Micah Johnson now drives, goes up at the left side and scores it. Micah heads up play there. He's got 7, and we're all tied at 34 and 4 minutes to go in the half. Here's an outside jumper, missed. Short range by Davian Bauer. Otters get another rebound. That's Fullhart. He's had a nice first half off the bench. Eli up ahead, throws it away. Unofficially, 13 turnovers against the Otters now in the opening half. Ben Bubolt's back in for Detroit Lakes. Wiederick back in. Fullhart will go to the bench. So the Otters now with Fellstool, Bethel, Wiederick, Micah Johnson, and Isaac Mack. Here's Buboltz. Back for Von Ruden, who's had a great half shooting threes. Drives into the paint, now in trouble. Swings it to the corner. Bubolt's going to try the three. Airballed that one. Rebound comes down to Micah Johnson. Fellstool had the rebound. Micah Johnson now the basketball. Otters handle the pressure. Eston Bethel, he's going to fire up another three. That one in and out. Mack fights for the rebound, tips it out of bounds, and they say last the touch, Detroit Lakes. Not a bad call, actually. May have been a late tip. Brett Moss not happy on the Detroit Lakes bench. Davian Bauer checking back in for DL. Caden Chasborn comes out of the ball game. And the Otters will inbound right side of the hoop. We're tied at 34. Pass on the inside. Shot got missed by Micah Johnson. Ball tipped out of bounds. Now it belongs to Detroit Lakes. And Matt Johnson turning his head sideways. 3:11 to go here. Half number 1 on the Park Region scoreboard. All tied at 34. And there's a travel. Davian Bauer, a little bit of a head start, top of the key. And Detroit Lakes turns it over. So the Otters now a chance to take a lead. The Lake Shirts Fieldhouse here at Detroit Lakes. Thanks for joining us. Here's Micah Johnson double teamed in the backcourt. Old trapping full court defense. Now they got to hurry and break that 10-second line. They do. Eston Bethel looking for a screen. Eston along the right side. Getting bodied up. Ball goes off his foot. Wow. Not sure about that one. Got 14 turnovers, but Eston's getting bumped the entire way in that corner. So DL quickly into the half court. Von Ruden missing a three. Rebound comes down to Buboltz. Now the nice feed in the paint, but that gets stolen away. They tried to go down low for Bauer. And Bethel comes back with an easy layup. Eston now having a big night. Otters with a 2-point lead. 36-34. Here's Ross, offensive foul. A little bit of a push-off by Demarion Ross, the 6'3 senior. Player control foul, his second personal foul. 7th team foul against the Lakers. So the Otters will be shooting here on the next foul that isn't a player control. Handle the pressure that time with Bethel. He's getting bumped all the way by Buboltz. No calls. Here's Weeder. He's got the basketball. Micah Johnson, left corner. Now they left him open. He's going to fire up to three. Comes up short just by a hair. Rebound to Davian Bauer. Bauer walks it across. There's another push and another offensive foul. Good defense. Wiederick ends up on the floor. Just great straight-up defense. Matt Johnson having a conversation on the side. Jacob Jentz checking back in. Isaac Mack will go to the bench. Oh, he's actually going to stay in, so they're going to keep. They're going to go big now. See who else is checking in. Fullhart into the ball game. Fullhart comes in for Isaac Mack. So now we've got Fullhart, Jentz, Wiederick, Micah Johnson, and Felstu who will inbound. Fire up court. Micah's got it. Bethel's going to save some time with 2:07 to go here in the half. Don't want to risk 3 fouls on him. Micah for Felstu. Looks to the right side, nearly stolen away. Felstu has his pass tip. Micah Johnson's got it. Felstu on the right wing, looking for a screen. Had his jersey tugged from behind, and the steal comes back the other way. Here's Bauer. Missed the layup. Missed the layup on the floater, and then a foul in the backcourt. Oh, my goodness. And free throws coming now for Detroit Lakes. So Bauer picks up his second personal foul. Jacob Jentz going to the free throw line. Felstu comes out. Eston Bethel back in the game. Just 1:44 to go in the half. Free throws coming now. 1-and-1 situation for Jacob Jentz. 9 points in this ball game. Free throw, missed it. Came up short. Rebound to Detroit Lakes. Cross-court pass. Ross, free throw line, has it tipped away. Careful, can't afford that third foul. Here's Von Ruden, pulls up, 10 feet in the paint. No good, rebound. Bethel corrals it for the Otters. Here's Micah Johnson in the backcourt. Pump fake, looking for help, and timeout being called by Matt Johnson. Doesn't want to risk that 10-second call. On the Park Region scoreboard, our score, Fergus Falls 36. And Detroit Lakes 34, just 1:23 remaining on the Park Region scoreboard. Timeouts brought to you by Lake Region Healthcare. Back with more in a moment. This is high school basketball on KJ Country 96.5.
Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls is proud to sponsor area athletics. Nelson Auto knows the value of a good team, and we'd like to invite you in to meet our team. See how our team takes care of you and your family. Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls.
Looking to buy, build, or refinance? Trust Alicia Helgeson at FM Bank in Fergus Falls. With expert guidance and local know-how, she makes the mortgage process smooth and stress-free. Call Alicia or apply online at mybankfm.com today. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Make OSPTI your choice for outpatient rehabilitation and sports injuries with locations in Fergus Falls and Breckenridge. Orthopedic and sports physical therapy is the right choice for your recovery. Live your best life. Trust the experts at OSPTI.
Micah Johnson going to the free throw line for Fergus Falls, shooting a bonus. Gets that one. Got fouled in the backcourt by Davian Bauer, the sophomore, picking up his third personal foul. 10 team fouls now against Detroit Lakes. So actually Micah Johnson shooting 2. Shooting the double bonus. Micah hits the first one. So 37-34. Otters with a 3-point lead. And Micah Johnson rolls in the second one. And the lead goes to 4-point now. 38-34 for the Otters. Here's Von Ruden. Dawson spins in the paint. Goes up, floater, comes up short. Rebound, Micah Johnson. Von Ruden's been better from 3-point range than he's been from 2. Here's Felstu. Got on the drive. Got kind of bumped on the way up, but kind of a forced shot. Not a good one by Felstu. Ball goes out of bounds, and it's going to go back to Detroit Lakes. Otters right now unofficially about 15 turnovers here in the first half. It's Caden Chasborn for Detroit Lakes, who's checked back in the game. They pick him up on the left baseline. In trouble, drops it back. This is Lipton. He's going to fire up a 3 ball. No good. They've cooled off a little bit from 3 range. Wiederick comes up with the rebound. 42 seconds to go until halftime. Micah Johnson in the backcourt, gets it across, weaves his way through traffic. Micah's going to spin, back up top, Wiederick. Here's Fullhart. Feldstuhl's got it right corner. Micah Johnson now, Otters with 27 seconds, 15 on the shot clock. Micah looking for a backdoor cut, needs a screen, gets it, works his way through traffic, pull-up jumper, nice looking shot, missed it. Isaac Mack was checked in, goes in, pushes it back to Micah Johnson. Fullhart the rebound. And then DL comes away off the miss and a foul going against Fergus Falls, and it's going to be Isaac Mack picking up the foul. Mack picks it up, 6-team foul against the Otters, and now more changes coming. Brock Jones checks back in for Detroit Lakes. And Detroit Lakes now, just 9 seconds remaining in the half. Here's Demarion Ross, spins, free throw line, works his way in the paint, kind of a fall-away jumper, missed the shot. Wiederick fights for the rebound, comes down into the hands of DL, and that's going to do it for half number 1. Nice first half by the Otters. They're going to go in the halftime with a 38-34 lead over Detroit Lakes. Maybe not handling the basketball as well as they should, but they still got the lead as DL cooled off a little bit from three-point range late in the first half. Halftime score, Fergus Falls 38 and Detroit Lakes 34 on our Park Region scoreboard. Park Region service beyond the connection. Our Minnesota Motor Company halftime show comes up in a moment. Let's take a break. Back with more in a moment. This is boys high school basketball. The Otters are playing tonight on KJ Country 96.5.
What's your number?
We drove 25 miles to get a great deal at Quality Toyota.
I drove 7 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota.
Quality Toyota.
Fresh and Fancy at Mama Sheena's has a way better option than some overprocessed junk from the back of your freezer. They've got take and bake meals made fresh with real ingredients, and all you have to do is stick it in the oven. Fresh and Fancy, saving moms one dinner at a time.
At American Federal Bank, they're proud sponsors of local high school athletics. Just like their student athletes, American Federal is here to go the extra mile for you. American Federal Bank, investing in our community one play at a time. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
And we are at halftime here inside the Lake Shirts Fieldhouse at Detroit Lakes High School. Otters, remember, these teams played third game of the season in Fergus Falls, and Detroit Lakes came away with a 105-80 win, going much better tonight for the Fergus Falls Otters. They're leading at halftime 38-34. Welcome to our Minnesota Motor Company halftime show as we recheck the scoring in our first half. And for the Otters, it goes something like this with Eston Bethel leading the way, 13 points. He's got a couple threes. He's also 1 of 1 from the free throw line, so he's got the team leading 13 tonight. Cam Wiederick with a three-pointer to his credit for 3. 2 points for Nolan Feldstuhl. 9 points for Micah Johnson, doing a nice job distributing the basketball tonight. Isaac Mack off the bench, no points. Jacob Jens with 9. He had a nice first half. 4 field goals, 1 of 3 from the free throw line for 9. Eli Fullhart off the bench, a couple points, but he's got some nice rebounding efforts tonight as well. Outstanding job for him. That's for the Otters team total of 38. Meanwhile, for Detroit Lakes, their team total of 34 on the ball game. All 2-pointers for Davian Bauer, but he's playing with 3 fouls. 6 points for Davian, the 6-foot sophomore. Demarion Ross, 6'3" senior. He's playing with 2 fouls. He's got a 3-pointer on his way to 5 points. Eli Hatch buried a 3. He's got 3. Dawson Von Ruden was the problem early in the first half for Fergus Falls. Von Ruden going for 3 3-pointers. Knocks down a 2. He's 1 of 2 from the free throw line. The senior has 12 points to lead Detroit Lakes in scoring right now. Caden Chasborn comes off the bench. He's knocked down a couple threes for a total of 6. And 2 points for Owen Lipton off the bench tonight for the Detroit Lakes team total of 34. So that's where we're at right now on the Park Region scoreboard. A couple other scores to pass along. One reason for the later start tonight, we had girls basketball tonight. Detroit Lakes and Frazee squared off in a girls game this evening, and Frazee comes away with the girls win tonight over Detroit Lakes, 82-79. 52-54. Meanwhile, updating a score at the half for the Fergus Falls girls. Fergus Falls leading Wilmer by a score of 29-28. We appreciate Jason Retzloff for that update from the Otter girls game tonight down in Wilmer. Or in Fergus Falls, rather. We'll be back with more. We'll check the standings one more time in the Central Lakes Conference and who's playing who tonight in high school basketball. And back with more on our Minnesota Motor Company halftime report. This is Otter Boys basketball on KJ Country 96.5.
The key to a great meal is at the Viking Cafe of Fergus Falls. The Viking Cafe with Minnesota's best omelet, manhole cover pancakes, and burgers that will fill your appetite. The key to a great breakfast and lunch is at the Viking Cafe, downtown Fergus Falls.
Need custom tees, hats, or uniforms? Let Lake Country Graphics bring your brand to life with top quality screen printing and embroidery. Located on North Union Avenue in Fergus Falls. Call 998-4027 today.
For over 50 years, Ottertail Coaches has safely carried kids to school, to games, and back home again. Trusted by generations, they're proud to serve Fergus Falls and the surrounding area. Ottertail Coaches, safety, service, and dependability.
Bob Rohr's back with you here inside the Lake Shirts Fieldhouse. Otters with a 38-34 lead over Detroit Lakes on the Park Region scoreboard. Welcome back to our Minnesota Motor Company halftime show. Once again, want to take a look at the Central Lakes Conference standings. This is a conference game tonight. Remember, Detroit Lakes is a part of the Central Lakes Conference now. Their first time as a member of the Central Lakes Conference. And standings coming into tonight, Alexandria still perfect in conference play. They're 10-0, 13-3 overall. Sartell is next at 8-2. They're 11-5 overall, including a loss to Fergus Falls. St. Cloud Apollo's next. They're 5-5, 12-6 overall. Wilmer at 4-4, 12-5 overall. Detroit Lakes then is next at 4-3, 10-5 overall. Then comes the surprising Otters. Fergus Falls now 5-6 in conference play, 7-10 overall. They won 6 of their last 8 to get them to this point in the season. Brainerd now 4-5 in conference. They're 5-11 overall. St. Cloud Tech 4-7, 8-11 overall. Sauk Rapids Rice is 3-8 in conference play, 6-12 overall. And Ricori in last place right now in the Central Lakes Conference, 2-9 in conference play, 6-13 overall on the year. Other games tonight going on, Central Lakes Conference. Sartell is at Alexandria. Apollo is at Brainerd. Heart of Lakes Conference tonight, Minnewaska is at Perham. Breckenridge is at Norman County East, Yule and Hitterdal. Little 8 conference games tonight. Brandon Evansville is at Lake Park Audubon. Hillcrest is at Rothsay. Parker's Prairie at Upsala, and Battle Lake is at Ferndale. Park Region scores tonight. Swanville is at Sabika. Bertha Hewitt at Henning. And Long Prairie Gray Eagle is at Pillager tonight. That's what's going on in the Park Region Conference tonight. Want to take a quick moment, thank our sponsors as usual for all that they do for us. Starting lineups tonight brought to you by Nelson Auto Center, Highway 210 West in Fergus Falls. Timeout tonight brought to you by Lake Region Healthcare. Park Region sponsoring our scoreboard as usual. And you're listening to the Minnesota Motor Company halftime show. Player of the game, we announced that after the ball game tonight. That's brought to you by Quality Toyota and Lake Country Graphics. And a big thanks, of course, to Running Stitches Embroidery, the local choice for embroidery and screen printing in Fergus Falls. That's Running Stitches Embroidery. Let's take another short break. Second half tip right around the corner. Bob Rohr's, Dave Bishop with you here in Detroit Lakes tonight. This is Otter Boys basketball on KJ Country 96.5.
Need custom tees, hats, or uniforms? Let Lake Country Graphics bring your brand to life with top quality screen printing and embroidery. Located on North Union Avenue in Fergus Falls. Call 998-4027 today.
Lake Region Healthcare joins you in shouting loud, cheering strong, and jumping for joy. Keeping our community healthy and spirited is the top priority at Lake Region Healthcare.
It's time to replace your old furnace. That old one has been a drain on your energy bill for far too long. Let Ugstead Plumbing and Heating replace your old inefficient furnace with a new carrier system and help you and your checkbook rest easy. Ugstead Plumbing and Heating, Fergus Falls.
Hi, I'm Heather Hickman, Executive Director for LB Homes in Fergus Falls. Seasons may change, but one truth remains: our compassionate, Christ-centered care at LB Brown Home. For over a century, we have served as His hands and feet. Every resident is welcomed as family, embraced with the dignity and kindness that Christ calls us to share. So whether you are seeking peace of mind or a trusted home for a loved one, you'll find it here. LB Brown Home, rooted in faith, serving with compassion, trusted for generations.
Fresh and Fancy at Mama Sheena's has a way better option than some overprocessed junk from the back of your freezer. They've got take and bake meals made fresh with real ingredients, and all you have to do is stick it in the oven. Fresh and Fancy, saving moms one dinner at a time.
For over 50 years, Ottertail Coaches has safely carried kids to school, to games, and back home again. Trusted by generations, they're proud to serve Fergus Falls and the surrounding area. Ottertail Coaches, safety, service, and dependability.
What's your number?
We've driven 57 miles to Quality Toyota to get a great deal, and we've done it 13 times.
Quality Toyota.
Bob Roy's back with you at Detroit Lakes, inside the Lake Shirts Fieldhouse. This is quite a facility. You walk in here, you can't help but being awestruck. Fergus Falls plays in a very nice gym, but what they've done here with Detroit Lakes, this is pretty phenomenal. Seating on all four sides. You got the screen right above us, center court. Four-sided scoreboard. Then you got the big video board, south side of the gym. Very nice. Otters will inbound, leading by 4, 38-34. Fellstuhl, Wiederick, Bethel, Micah Johnson, Jacob Jentz. 5 on the floor for Fergus Falls. Otters in their road white jerseys. Great feed underneath. Another turnover for Fergus Falls. Otters struggled with that in the first half. I counted unofficially 15 for the Otters. May have been worse. Detroit Lakes honestly wasn't much better here in the first half. Here's DeMarion and Ross. They go with their same 5. Here's Von Ruden. Dawson shot. Buries a 3. Dawson Von Ruden now 15 points in the game. 38-37, and more full court pressure from Detroit Lakes. 1 point lead for the Otters. Here's Wiederick, right corner. Back for Jentz. He's going to drop it from Micah Johnson. He's going to run the show from up top. Now Eston Bethel. Left elbow. Here's Jentz. Goes up kind of off balance, but gets the shot to go. Jacob Jentz, how about that? He's got 11 points in this game. 40-37, back to a 3-point lead for the Otters. Here's Davian Bauer, swings in the corner. That's a 3 ball from the right side by Buboltz, missed it. Nice rebound, good position by Nolan Fellstuhl. Fellstuhl quickly into the front court. Otters going from right to left in front of us. Here's Cam Wiederick, left wing, looking for a cutter. Wiederick now drives, left elbow, swings it across. Fellstuhl, long 3 from Nolan. High off the arc and bounces through. No bucket. They wave it off, hit the wire up on top, so no basket. No basket for Fergus Falls. So here's Detroit Lakes quickly into the front court. This is Dawson Von Ruden, guarded by Micah Johnson. Buboltz outside. Ross, a little bit of push off again. He's playing with 2 fouls. Ross swings it over. Buboltz drops it down low. It's Brendan Severson. Severson backs in on Jentz. Jensen goes straight up on the plate. Great defense. Outstanding job playing with 2 fouls by Jacob Jentz. Here's now Wiederick back outside Bethel. Kind of slacking off him a little bit. Here's Eston. Eston looking for a screen. Now going to drive on Buboltz right down the boulevard. Offensive foul. Foul going against Eston Bethel. Going to be his 3rd. And probably the right call. Detroit Lakes defender had to make sure he was beyond that arc in the paint. So the foul against Eston Bethel. First team foul against the Otters. And now Detroit Lakes trailing by 3 on the Park Region scoreboard, 40-37. And now we're tied as Dawson Von Ruden buries his 5th three-pointer of the night. He's got 18 in the game. Tied at 40. 15:48 to go in the ball game. Here's Jacob Jentz, gets it across the 10-second line. Fellstuhl, now back Micah Johnson. Out between the rings. Bethel back to Johnson. Same spot. Standing in the center circle. Guarded by Von Ruden. Here's Bethel driving the left side, back outside Jentz. He's going to try a 3. Came up short. Rebound, though. Wiederick beats everybody to the basketball. Fresh 20-second shot clock for Fergus Falls. Wiederick on the left side. Down low, quick shot by Micah Johnson. Too strong. Rebound comes down to DL. Here's Davian Bauer. For Demarion Ross, a 6'3 senior. Von Ruden now. Here's Bauer. He's going to pull up a three from straight on. Missed it, though. Rebound, though, by Von Ruden. Misses and got fouled on the play by Feldstuhl. They get Nolan. Nolan's first, I believe. First foul on Nolan Feldstuhl. And going to the free throw line is Dawson Von Ruden. 18 points in this game, 5 3-pointers. Free throw, good. Now 2 of 3 from the line. Detroit Lakes now leading 41-40 on our Park Region scoreboard. 15 minutes to go here in the ball game. Second attempt coming from Dawson Von Ruden. That one's good. Now with 20 points on the night. 42-40. Lakers with a 2-point advantage. More full court pressure. Kind of a 1-2-2, and the Otters threw it away. This is the second turnover here in the second half, but just that little bit of pressure. Otters not handling it very well that time in the backcourt. 2-point lead for DL. They've got the basketball. Here's Ross on the right wing, working on Feldstuhl. Otters kind of sitting back, man-to-man defense. There's a loose ball underneath off the miss, controlled by Buboltz, then off the fingertips of Demarion Ross and out of bounds. Just took his eye off the basketball very quickly. Didn't take long. Otters will inbound right in front of the Detroit Lakes bench. Jentz has got it in the backcourt. He's the last, not the ball handle you want. Now he's going to go with the deep pass. Wiederick's wide open. Here's Cam driving inside. Whistle, traveled. Good call. Drove in from the right wing and then took that extra hop step. Caden Chasborn checks back in for Detroit Lakes. As Demarion Ross will go to the bench. Chasborn with a couple threes in the first half. Here's Davian Bauer. Davian Bauer swings it for Von Ruden. Dawson back for Davian Bauer. Right wing, working on Bethel. Now powers his way through. Should have shot the basketball. Instead, drops it off for Severson. He's going to power up, roll one in. His first points of the game. And it's now a 4-point lead for Detroit Lakes at 44-40 on the Park Region scoreboard. Feldstuhl for Bethel, and they handle it. Here's Micah Johnson into the front court. Working on the left wing. DL aggressive man-to-man defense. That's how they play. Bethel back for Micah Johnson on the left wing. Guarded by Chasborn. Micah dribbling, gives up the dribble. Now Jentz, top of the key. Drops it off Wiederick. Cam for Nolan Feldstuhl. Shot clock at 8. They've got time. Here's Micah. Drives into the paint. Little baby hook floater. Missed his shot, but got fouled. He's going to go to the free throw line and shoot a couple. Foul goes against Von Ruden. First foul on Von Ruden, who's got 20 points in this game. And Micah Johnson to the free throw line. 9 points in the first half. 2 of 2 from the free throw line. That one misses. Funny how just changing sides of the gym and what basket you're shooting off can have that kind of effect. Owen Lipton's checked in for Detroit Lakes. Where's number 20? Ben Buboltz will go to the bench for the Lakers. Second free throw came up short, missed it. Scrum on the ground. Jentz comes away for Fergus Falls. Nice job by Jacob. Fresh shot clock for the Otters. Here's Bethel. Wiederick. Micah Johnson. Feldstuhl's going to pop a three. Bury it. Nolan Feldstuhl. Quick trigger there. Like to see it. Otters are back within one at 44-43. Severson swings it over. Von Ruden, another three attempt. That one missed, but Severson comes away with the rebound. It was an air ball. Severson powers his way up, missed the shot. Jentz tips it out of bounds. He's going to stay with the Lakers. He had an injury down on the floor. Brendan Severson went up on that shot, landed very awkwardly. Can't tell if it's knee or if it's ankle. Trainer's out on the floor. They're going to help him off to the bench. Eli Hatch getting set to check in. Brock Jones checking in. These are all for Detroit Lakes. And then Demarion Ross is back in as well. So Lakers basketball leading by 1, 44-43. Thank our sponsors, Running Stitches, a local choice for embroidery and screen printing in Fergus Falls. That's Running Stitches Embroidery. Caden Chasborn back in for the Lakers as well. DL inbounds. Chasborn, open look three from straight on. Rims off. Rebound, though. Look at Brock Jones. Missed the shot. Ball tipped out of bounds. They say it's going to stay with the Lakers. DL inbound left side of the hoop. Leading by 1, 44-43. Ross looking for help. Gets it to Hatch. Going to fire up a three from the left corner and drill it. Eli Hatch, no hesitation. His second three of the ball game. Lead's grown to 4 points now for Detroit Lakes at 47-43. Feldstuhl to Bethel. Gets it across the 10-second line. Eston has it poked away and off his knee. Good call. Basketball goes back to Detroit Lakes. So the Lakers in control, 47-43. Otters led by as many as 8 in the opening half. Here's Ross, drops it off. Lipton, right side of the lane. Pull-up jumper, no good. Rebound comes down to Feldstuhl for Fergus Falls. Now, doubled in the backcourt, turns it over. Easy layup for Hatch. Got his pocket picked. DL gets the bucket, and a timeout being called by Matt Johnson. 12:18 remaining here in half number 2, and our score on the Park Region scoreboard. Detroit Lakes 49, Otters 43. Timeouts brought to you by Lake Region Healthcare. Back with more in a moment. This is Boys Hoops with the Otters on KJ Country 96.5.
Every team has a home field advantage. Make yours the internet from Park Region. With speeds that keep up with the pace of the game and the reliability to never miss a play, you'll always be connected. Get the internet that's always in your corner. Park Region, your home team's internet advantage.
Between muddy roads and dusty drives, your car takes a beating. Keep it shining with an unlimited car wash membership at Splash Express. Upgrade to the Platinum for a rust inhibitor, hot wax, and ceramic coating in one bundle. Stop by Splash Express next to Premier Meats in Fergus Falls.
Between practices, games, and late-night drives, who's got time to grocery shop? With Instacart from Service Food in Fergus Falls, order online and your groceries are ready for delivery. So you can cheer louder, not shop longer. Service Food of Fergus Falls.
Timeouts brought to you by Lake Region Healthcare. Bob Roars, Dave Bishop with you here from the Lake Shirts Fieldhouse in Detroit Lakes. Otters trailing 49-43. They've got the basketball. More full court pressure coming from DL. Kind of like a 1-2-2 set here. Trying to get the trap at half court or in the backcourt if they can. They get it across. Here's Cam Weeder going to go up with a strong layup with the left hand. Nice job by the Otters. Handle the pressure there. Gets them back within 4 at 49-45. Here's Demarion Ross now for the Lakers. Pull-up jumper, 12-footer from the side. Oh, that was smooth. Marion Ross's first bucket of the second half. He's got 7 in the ball game. 51-45, 6-point lead here for Detroit Lakes. Otters handle the pressure. Here's Bethel, works his way around traffic. Finger roll, missed the shot. Gents on the follow, missed the shot. Ball tipped out of bounds. Last to touch was Demarion Ross for DL. So the Lakers, or rather the Otters, will inbound left side of the hoop. 11:34 to go in this ball game. Otters have some work to do. Playing a short bench. Gents was open momentarily. Feldstuhl, quick trigger from the left corner. Rims off, no good. Hatch the rebound for DL. Here comes Eli Hatch. Eli Hatch, a 6'1 senior. Ross, Chasborn, drops it off. Lipton. Ross going to fire up a three from the left corner. Too strong. Rebound, Gents. Look at Jacob go up and get it. He's had a nice game. Micah Johnson up ahead. Cam Wiederick. Back for Gents, top of the key. Right side is Micah Johnson. DL staying man-to-man defense in the half court. Destin Bethel quiet so far in the second half. 13 in the first half. Ball poked away. Unofficially 6 turnovers in the second half. 21 in the ball game now for the Otters. Here's Chasborn back for Ross. Demarion looks to the right wing. Guarded by Bethel. Ross into the paint. Back outside Hatch. Hatch drops it off. Chasborn fires another three from the corner and hit another one. His third three of the night. They're starting to add up. 54-45, biggest lead of the night for the Lakers. There's Bethel, swings it back for Feldstuhl. Otters have some work to do. Trailing by 9. Feldstuhl back for Jentz, who comes up top of the key. Looking for a backdoor cut. Back for Wiederick now on the right side. Here's Cam. Drives into the paint. Floater with the right hand. Missed the shot. Jentz fights for it. Nearly got the shot to go, but he's going to shoot two. Jacob Jentz working hard tonight. Like to see it. Foul goes on Brock Jones, who picked up the foul. Jones now with 2 in the game. He will check out. Severson, who is injured, re-enters for Detroit Lakes. Ben Bubolt's also back in for the Lakers. Jent's second attempt is good. Jent's hits them both. Now with 13 points on the night for the Otters. Back within 7, 54-47. Here's Ross, going to pull up. There's a 3 from the corner, left side, missed it. Rebound, though, to Severson. Bubolt's going to pop a 3 from the right side, comes up short, tracks down his own miss. They're going to start all over again. Von Ruden going to try another 3. That one airballed, a little bit too far away. Rebound to Eli Fullhart, who's checked in for the Otters. Here's Eli in the backcourt. Micah Johnson now going to settle things down. Takes a bump, looking for contact. Bad pass in the paint. Jent's fighting for it. Another scramble on the floor. And they're going to call a jump ball. Possession arrow. See who gets the basketball at this point. It's going to stay with Detroit Lakes. Here's Davian Bauer back in for the Lakers. Don't forget, after the game tonight, we'll have our Quality Player of the Game, brought to you by Quality Toyota and Lake Country Graphics. Lakers the basketball. Buboltz had that shot 3, partially blocked. Rebound by Von Ruden, missed it. Rebound for Jentz. Jacob's been very good tonight. And he's getting pressured in the backcourt. Otters now better hurry to get across the 10-second. Fullhart now finally does. Pass down low. Jentz powers his way up and scores. Jacob Jentz playing with confidence right now. He's got 15. 54-49. Otters back within 5. On our Park Region scoreboard, Dawson Von Ruden here for Detroit Lakes. For Demarion Ross. Working on Micah Johnson. A little bit of a push off. Floater in the paint. Got it. 9 points for Demarion. It's tough to stop. 56-49. Leads back at 7 here, and another turnover in the backcourt. Bad pass. Feldstuhl started breaking up court. Pass went to the first row, the fans on the far side. So another turnover against Fergus Falls. Unofficially 7 here in the second half. 8.5 to go here in the ball game. Ross inbounding on the far side. Gets it to Ben Buboltz, 6-foot junior for DL. Here's Ben, works his way down to the right block. Working on Fullhart. Outside jumper. That's a 3 ball from the right side. Missed it. Severson somehow comes up over the back but doesn't foul, and that's okay. Jentz nearly a reach. Severson, baby hook, got it. Brendan Severson going to work on the inside. He's got 4 in the ball game. 58-49. Leads back to 9. Matches the biggest lead of the game for Detroit Lakes. Here's Micah Johnson. Finally flips it over to Feldstuhl. Otters will reset. Micah Johnson up between the rings. Guarded by Dawson Von Ruden. Here's Bethel. Scoreless here in the second half. Eston feeds. This is Fullhart, or rather Jentz. Back outside for Eston Bethel. Going to pop a 3. Comes up short. Rebound. Severson fouled from behind. Get it, Micah? Could be Micah Johnson. It is on the reach. His second. Third team foul against the Otters. Mike Johnson not happy. Didn't agree with the call at all. Nonetheless, Lakers basketball, 58-49. Just over 7.5 to go. Here's Von Ruden in the paint. Turnaround jumper from 7 feet, got it. Just his second 2 of the night. He's now got 22 points in the game. 60-49. Lead's grown to 11 points here for Detroit Lakes. Feldstuhl to Fullhart. Drops it underneath for Jentz. Has to go back outside. Here's Eli. Nice drive. Left hand. Missed the shot, though. Came up short. Just couldn't get enough strength to get it to the hoop. Detroit Lakes quickly into the front court. Von Ruden. Bubolt's going to pop a 3 from the right side. No good. Great position by Micah Johnson. Otters need some hoops. They could use a couple 3s to get back in this game. Jentz to Fullhart. Here's Micah Johnson, pump fake, drives to the left side, back out. Here's Gents. Jacob going to drive, works his way inside, off glass, got it, and a foul. See the drive one more time. That's a great job. Bucket counts. Gents gets it. So Gents gets the 2. 60-51. Lots of changes for Detroit Lakes coming in. Cam Wiederich's return for the Otters. And free throws coming for Gents, who cashes in. He's got 18 points now in the ball game. 60-52. It's an 8-point game here for Detroit Lakes. Lipton for Detroit Lakes. He's checked back into the game. Spins back outside. Jumper. Chaseborn, 3. Missed it. Rebound is a long one. Chased down by Felstool. The officials need to talk about this one to see if it went off a DL player. Felstool tried to find the leg of a DL player, and he did. Nice job by Nolan. So Otters will inbound at the very end of the Detroit Lakes bench, way back in the corner. 6:27 remaining in the ball game. Here's Micah Johnson to Nolan Felstool. Again, short bench for Fergus Falls. Playing with 7 players. Here's Eston Bethel. Drive, nobody picked them up. Eston's first bucket here in the second half. 60-54. Otters back within 6 on the Park Region scoreboard. 3-ball Von Ruden, missed it. Eston Bethel quickly up ahead. Here's Cam Wiederich. Cam goes up, got fouled. Got fouled from behind. Lipton saying I went straight up, but no, you see you fouled him from behind. So that's where the foul comes in. So Lipton draws the foul, his first. And 2 shots coming here for Cam Wiederich, the 5'10 senior. Cam with 5 points on the night. First trip to the free throw line. That one's good. Otters get back within 5. Marion Ross is checked back in for Detroit Lakes. Second free throw from Cam Wiederich. Rolls around, no good. Missed it. DL the rebound. Here comes Davian Bowers back in the game. Now Ross. Chasborn looking for help in the left corner. Timeout being called by Detroit Lakes head coach Brett Moss. Didn't want the 5-second call. Timeouts tonight brought to you by Lake Region Healthcare. We've got 5:48 to go here on our Park Region scoreboard. Our score, Detroit Lakes 60, Fergus Falls 55. Let's take a break. This is Otter Basketball on KJ Country 96.5.
Hi, I'm Heather Hickman, Executive Director for LB Homes in Fergus Falls. Seasons may change, but one truth remains: our compassionate, Christ-centered care at LB Browen Home. For over a century, we have served as His hands and feet. Every resident is welcomed as family, embraced with the dignity and kindness that Christ calls us to share. So whether you are seeking peace of mind or a trusted home for a loved one, you'll find it here. LB Browen Home, rooted in faith, serving with compassion, trusted for generations.
Where to eat, the ultimate culinary adventure, from signature dishes to chef recommendations.
As your food review professionals, you can find us at KBRFradio.com, the Fergus Now app, and on YouTube.
Tune in every first Friday of the month for new episodes.
Check us out, and we'll show you where to eat.
Bob Royce back with you here in Detroit Lakes inside the Lake Shirts Fieldhouse, home of the Lakers in Detroit Lakes. Otters are fighting their way back into this one. They had a 4-point lead at halftime, 38-34. Since then, Detroit Lakes has been a little bit better, and they've got a 5-point lead at 60-55 and 5:48 remaining in this ball game. Lakers basketball, Demarion Ross, the 6'3 senior, brings it into the front court. Here's Owen Lipton. Lipton works his way, thought he had a drive at the free throw, and it's maybe a double dribble. Otters defending strong up top. That was Micah Johnson. Caden Chasborn missed the 3 from the right corner. Long rebound to Cam Wiederich. Up ahead, Eston Bethel. He thought about the 3. Back for Micah Johnson. Felstool drives back out. Micah Johnson straight on 3. Comes up short. Rebound, Detroit Lakes. Thought he had it measured. Just over 5 minutes to go in the game. Chasborn for Lipton. Gives up his dribble. Swings it back. Now for Davian Bauer. Had a good first half. Been quiet here in the second. Bauer, floater, left side, that's nice. Goes off glass and scores. He's got 8 points in the game. 62-55. Leads back to 7 for Detroit Lakes. Here's Jacob Jens. Feeds back. And Micah Johnson traveled. Tried to drive his way through 2 players of Detroit Lakes standing in the lane. And got called for the travel. So another turnover against the Otters. Brock Jones returns. Owen Lipton comes out for Detroit Lakes. Dawson Von Ruden checks back in. Brendan Severson's back in the game. So Demarion Ross brings it up the floor for Detroit Lakes with a 62-55 lead for the Lakers. Chasborn back for Von Ruden. Gone quiet a little bit. Von Ruden in the paint. Has to swing back. Pass tipped away. Tried to go to the left corner, and Cam Wiederick was there for the deflection. Just over 4.5 remaining in this ball game. Otters need that big rally. Here's Ross working on Micah Johnson. Lost the handle, stolen away. Here comes Micah Johnson back the other way. Micah, drop it off. Feldstuhl gives up his dribble. Now needs help. Back for Bethel. Here's Eston. Works inside. Boy, head down. First step and gone. 17 points in the game now for Eston. Gets the Otters back within 5 at 62-57 on our Park Region scoreboard. Here's Chasborn for Detroit Lakes. Top of the key now, guarded by Wiederick. Ross has got it on the right wing. Severson looking for a cutter. Feeds back, Dawson Von Ruden. Now he's going to drive. Kicks to the corner. Ross, wide open look for 3. Got it. Demarion Ross, his second 3 of the game. He's got 12 points in the ball game now. 65-57, leads back at 8 for Detroit Lakes. Otters handle the pressure. Here's Bethel, goes up, they let him go. Eston Bethel now, 19 in the game for the Otters. 65-59. It's almost like DL's content. If the Otters want to shoot 2s, try and get back in this game instead of 3s. Bauer kicks it back. This is Ross. Top of the key. Drops it off Von Ruden. Quick trigger 3. That one off the mark. Bethel skies for the rebound. Eston up ahead. Here's Jacob Jens. Jens drops it off for Wiederick. Got a great feed, but he missed the reverse layup. Couldn't get it to go. Rebound comes down to DL. They're back into the front court. Leading by 6. 65-59. Bauer working on Wiederick. He lost the handle. Thought it hit the baseline. Did not. Phil Hansen right on top of it. Here's Von Ruden. Free throw line. Couple dribbles. Kicks back outside. Micah Johnson bumping him all the way, and a foul being called on Fergus Falls. And it's either Micah or it's going to be Feldstuhl. See what Phil Hansen has for us. They're going to give it to Micah Johnson. Good call. Third foul against Micah. Just the 4th team foul against the Otters here in the second half. Off the inbound, here's Brendan Severson. Gives up the dribble. Swings it now for Bauer. Bauer top of the key. Free throw line. Couple dribbles. Spins into the paint. Nearly has it taken away. Throws the Chasborn on the right side. Now on the wing. Here's Severson from the right block. Goes inside. Muscles. Scores. Good job by Brendan Severson. Nice second half for him. He's got 6 points. Leads back to 8. 67-54 for the Lakers. Here's Eston Bethel into the paint. Pull up from 7. Came up short. Rebound Severson. 2:13 remaining in the ball game here on the Park Region scoreboard. 67-59. Here's Ross on the right block. Drops it off for Severson. Back for Ross. Thinking about the 3. Going to eat some clock instead. Severson powers up one more time. Missed the shot. Rebound Micah Johnson. Home run pass down the other side for Wiederick. And couldn't handle the pass. Took that one skip off his fingertips and out of bounds. Missed opportunity for Fergus Falls. So now 1:51 remaining in the game. And Detroit Lakes very much in control, 67-59. Pressure from the Otters, trying to get the turnover, and they do. Bauer tries to go cross court for Demarion Ross and simply overshot him. Ball goes into the Fergus Falls bench. So the Otters now, they could use a 3 here. Minute 42 to go. They're not done. They need some buckets here. Pass into the backcourt, Eston Bethel. He's working on Davian Bauer. Here's Eston. Nice feed underneath for Wiederick. Missed the layup. Missed another one. Rebound to Detroit Lakes. Minute and a half to go. Ross is going to slow things down. Here's Davian Bauer. Way out between the rings. Von Ruden. 20 points in this game. Actually 22 in the game. Ball's on the floor. Otters come away with the turnover. Micah Johnson. Nice hands on that play. Minute 7 to go. Johnson. Feldstuhl. Three-pointer. Left side. Got it. Nolan Feldstuhl. His second three of the game. He's got 8 now for the ball game. 67-62. Otters need a miracle. Nearly get it. They get the steal by Bethel. Bethel head in the left corner. He's going to pop a three. Get in there, and he does. Eston Bethel has got the Otters right back into this one. 67-65. It's a 2-point game for Detroit Lakes, and a timeout being called by the Lakers. Timeout Lakers on our Park Region scoreboard. Timeouts being brought to you by Lake Region Healthcare. 40 seconds to go. Detroit Lakes 67, Otters 65. We're not done yet. This is basketball with the Otters on KJ Country 96.5.
Have you ever experienced love at first drive? At Minnesota Motor Company in Fergus Falls, that spark happens every day when customers get behind the wheel of a new Chevy or Buick vehicle. You'll also fall in love with how you'll be treated. Minnesota Motor Company is a dealership that provides honest deals and small-town care that lasts long after you drive off the lot. Find your new love today.
Minnesota Motor.
South Pebble Lake Road, Fergus Falls.
Here's to a great season for all our favorite high school athletes. American Legion is a favorite too and serves up everyone's favorite barbecued ribs. American Legion of Fergus Falls, open each Wednesday through Saturday on Pebble Lake Road in Fergus Falls.
Otters have made this a ball game tonight. Come back with consecutive three-pointers on trips down the floor. Get a couple turnovers. They cashed in. They're back within 2. On the Park Region scoreboard, Detroit Lakes 67, Fergus Falls 65. Lakers basketball, they've got to go the length of the floor with just 40 seconds remaining in this game. And Otters have fouls to give. Both teams do, as a matter of fact. They get it to Severson. And here's Ross in the backcourt. Get a little hand check in the backcourt, and Micah Johnson's going to pick up the foul. That's going to be 4 on Micah. Keep an eye on that one. Be nice to keep him on the floor. So again, no free throws, just the 15 foul against the Otters. Keeper Detroit Lakes are able to run some time off the clock there. 35 seconds to go in the game. Nearly a steal in the backcourt, and now a turnover, and it's Otter basketball. They try to go to Demarion Ross on the floater. Micah Johnson was there on the defensive side. Ross last one to touch, and now the Otters can tie with a 2. Here's Bethel inbounding, right side of the basket. To Feldstuhl, right corner. And they turn it over. Bad pass. Ross comes away with the steal. They need a foul in the backcourt, and they do. Eston Bethel going to pick up the foul. That's going to be 4 on Eston. 6-team foul against the Otters. Oh, my goodness, what an opportunity. Otters get the steal, and they give it right back again. And a timeout being called by Detroit Lakes. They want to talk things over here. 26 seconds remaining in this game on the Park Region scoreboard. Still Detroit Lakes 67, Otters 65. Timeouts brought to you by Lake Region Healthcare. Back in a moment. This is Otter boys basketball on KJ Country 96.5.
Lake Region Healthcare knows what all coaches know. It takes tons of teamwork, great amounts of grit, and heaps of hustle to triumph. Lake Region Healthcare, supporting and celebrating our high school athletes.
It's time to replace your old furnace. That old one has been a drain on your energy bill for far too long. Let Otters Plumbing and Heating replace your old inefficient furnace with a new carrier system and help you and your checkbook rest easy. Otters Plumbing and Heating, Fergus Falls.
At Fergus Falls Monument Company, Ryan and Mike want you to design a personal memorial for your loved one that will fully express your personal sentiment and that of your loved one. Fergus Falls Monument on Pebble Lake Road, online, foreverstonememorials.com.
Timeouts, of course, brought to you by Lake Region Healthcare. Big thanks to Running Stitches Embroidery, the local choice for embroidery and screen printing in Fergus Falls. That's Running Stitches Embroidery. All right, set the stage. 26.7 seconds remaining in this ball game. Detroit Lakes leading Fergus Falls 67-65. Detroit Lakes basketball. Next foul against the Otters will send Detroit Lakes to the free throw line for bonus opportunities. Otters looking full court pressure. Need a turnover. DL gets it in. This is Demarion Ross. Micah Johnson's got to be careful. He's got 4 fouls. They double at half court. And a foul in the backcourt. Nolan Fellstill picks it up, just his second. And now free throws coming for Detroit Lakes. These are all big down the stretch with just 20 seconds remaining. Davian Bauer, his first time to the free throw line tonight. He's got 8 points on the game. 7 team fouls now against Fergus Falls. Free throw, short. Rebound to Bethel. Rebound to Bethel. The Otters got to get a shot off here. 15 seconds to go. Matt Johnson says, let's play. Here's Eston Bethel. Drives down the boulevard. Score it. We're tied. Tied at 67. 5 seconds to go. Here's a drive from DL. Pass from behind. It's intercepted by the Otters. And we're going to overtime. Matt Johnson was looking for a timeout there late. Not able to get it. Talking it over with Phil Hansen. And oh my goodness, we're going to overtime. Eston Bethel, Otters got the rebound. Bethel took it into his hands. He drives to the hoop. Eston now with 22 points in the game, and we're going to overtime. Oh my goodness, let's take a break. Park Region scoreboard, we're tied at 67, going to overtime. This is Boys Hoops, Otter Boys Hoops on KJ Country 96.5.
Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls is proud to sponsor area athletics. Nelson Auto knows the value of a good team, and we'd like to invite you in to meet our team. See how our team takes care of you and your family. Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls.
Looking to buy, build, or refinance? Trust Alicia Helgeson at FM Bank in Fergus Falls. With expert guidance and local know-how, she makes the mortgage process smooth and stress-free. Call Alicia or apply online at mybankfm.com today. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Make OSPTI your choice for outpatient rehabilitation and sports injuries with locations in Fergus Falls and Breckenridge. Orthopedic and sports physical therapy is the right choice for your recovery. Live your best life. Trust the experts at OSPTI.
In overtime, Otters win the opening tip. It's a 4-minute overtime, tied at 67. Here's a short jumper. Baby hook by Micah Johnson's good. Micah Johnson now 11 points in this ball game. And the Otters take a 2-point lead at 69-67. Here's Caden Chasborn outside. Von Ruden a 3. In and out. He was hot the first half. He's cooled off from here. Eston Bethel the rebound. His teams met. Third game of the season. Detroit Lakes blew the Otters out of their own gym at 105-80. Otters much better tonight. Turnover still a problem, but somehow they've come back in this game. Fellstill the 3. That was too long. Rebound comes down to Detroit Lakes. 69-67, Otters leading on the Park Region scoreboard. Laker basketball, here's Von Ruden on the left wing, working on Fellstill. Dawson looking to spin in the paint, can't do it. Here's Ross, Demarion, free throw line, spins, mugged by Johnson. Micah's gonna foul out of this ball game. It's gonna be 5 on Micah. Or is that 4? Just 4 on Micah. So just 4 fouls on Micah. Demarion Ross going to the free throw line. Bethel playing with 4 fouls. Free throw good by Demarion Ross. Ross now with 13 points in the game. Second attempt by Ross. That one's good. We're all tied up. 69 all. 3 minutes remaining in overtime. Here's Eston Bethel. Jacob Gentz. Jacob looking for a backdoor cut. Here's Bethel. Thought about the 3. Wiederick swings in the corner. Fellstill. Fellstill back up top. Micah Johnson. Micah Johnson to Wiederick. DL sitting back. Man-to-man defense. Here's Micah. Powers his way to the hoop. Counted and a foul. Micah Johnson. Free throw. Rolls off. No good. Rebound down the floor. And a foul going against the Otters. That Eston? No. Going against Gents. Jacob Jentz is going to be 3 on him. And that means bonus free throws coming for Detroit Lakes. 9th team foul against the Otters. Brady Severson will go to the line. Brendan Severson. Ross gets himself settled in. Free throw by Severson. Got it. Got the first one. Now with 7 points in the game. (71-70) Otters leading. Second free throw, too strong. Rebound comes down to Fergus Falls. 1 point lead, 2:28 to go in the ball game. Feldstuhl going to work his way back up top, out between the rings. Micah Johnson on the right wing. Preston Bethel fakes his way into the paint, drops it off for Jentz. Had it fouled. He got fouled going up. Von Ruden's going to pick that one up. Dawson Von Ruden. His third. And going to the free throw line is Jacob Jentz. 18 points for Jacob, make it 19. 72-70, 2:12 to go here on the Park Region scoreboard. In overtime, second free throw, got them both. He's 5 for 5 in the second half from the line. 3-point lead for the Otters at 73-70. Detroit Lakes quickly into the front court with Davian Bauer. Now driving off the lane. Chasborn working on Wiederick. Short jumper, Wiederick blocked the shot. Great defense by him. Otters now with a 3-point lead. Minute 51 to go in the game. Micah Johnson to Eston Bethel. Nope, Micah still got the ball. Now Eston Bethel. In the corner for Wiederick. Man-to-man defense, foul up on top. Ross is going to pick it up on the bump. Foul on DeMarion Ross. And bonus free throws now coming for the Otters. Boy, if they can knock these down. Bethel now with 24 points in the game. Misses the free throw, though. Missed the free throw. Lakers come away with the rebound. Nearly stolen away by the Otters as Bethel's harassing in the backcourt. So it's Lakers basketball. 1:33 remaining in the game. We're in overtime. And a timeout being called by Detroit Lakes. Brett Moss wants to talk it over. 1:31 to go on the Park Region scoreboard. Otters 73. And Detroit Lakes 70 in our overtime. Take a break. Timeout's brought to you by Lake Region Healthcare. This is Otter Boys basketball on KJ Country 96.5.
What's your number?
We drove 25 miles to get a great deal at Quality Toyota.
I drove 7 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota.
Fresh and Fancy at Mama Sheena's has a way better option than some overprocessed junk from the back of your freezer. They've got take and bake meals made fresh with real ingredients, and all you have to do is stick it in the oven. Fresh and Fancy, saving moms one dinner at a time.
At American Federal Bank, they're proud sponsors of local high school athletics. Just like their student athletes, American Federal is here to go the extra mile for you. American Federal Bank, investing in our community one play at a time. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
We were in overtime on our Park Region scoreboard. We were tied at 67 after regulation. Otters now leading 73-70 in our overtime period. Just 1:31 remaining in the game. Detroit Lakes basketball, they will inbound and bring it into the front court. This is DeMarion Ross. Ross looks to the right wing, looking for a screen, gets it from Severson. Now DeMarion drives on the inside on Jentz. That's an easy scoop and score. Pretty smooth by that young man. 73-72. Otters with a 1-point lead. Jentz in the backcourt. Now Feldstuhl. They better hurry. Got a 10-second call. And a timeout being called by Matt Johnson. He's got ones to give. Let's keep it here for the time being. Timeouts again brought to you by Lake Region Healthcare. Matt Johnson wants to talk it over. Otters still with 2 timeouts left. DL is down to their last. You see the Otter coaches kind of looking around. Where's this ball going to be inbounded at? Trying to set a play. Otters came back on a 6-0 run to close things out to force this one to overtime. Then Eston Bethel with a big drive. That tied the game at 67. That's what forced overtime. Detroit Lakes had a chance to win it in regulation. Short jumper in the paint, sat on the rim rather. Otters were able to recover. That sent it to overtime. Since then, they got that 3-point lead. Otter girls got a win tonight, 65-56 over Wilmer. Congratulations to them. Otter girls keep rolling. Again, just a handful of games remaining here. So Otters basketball. Feldstuhl will inbound. On the far side of the bench, they finally get it in. Stolen away. Demarion Ross comes away with the steal. So Detroit Lakes now trailing by 1 at 73-72. They've got the basketball. Dawson Von Ruden back for Bauer. Bauer back outside for Ross. Slowly get things set, looking for a screen. Owen Lipton's checked into the game. Whistle and a timeout being called by Detroit Lakes coach Brent Moss. So I want to make sure of this. 50 seconds remaining in this game on the Park Region scoreboard. Let's take a break. Our score in overtime, Fergus Falls 73, Detroit Lakes 72. This is Otter Boys basketball on KJ Country 96.5.
The key to a great meal is at the Viking Cafe of Fergus Falls. The Viking Cafe with Minnesota's best omelet, manhole cover pancakes, and burgers that will fill your appetite. The key to a great breakfast and lunch is at the Viking Cafe, downtown Fergus Falls.
Need custom tees, hats, or uniforms? Let Lake Country Graphics bring your brand to life with top quality screen printing and embroidery. Located on North Union Avenue in Fergus Falls. Call 998-4027 today.
For over 50 years, Ottertail Coaches has safely carried kids to school, to games, and back home again. Trusted by generations, they're proud to serve Fergus Falls and the surrounding area. Ottertail Coaches, safety, service, and dependability.
44 seconds left to go in overtime. Detroit Lakes basketball. Lakers trail by 1. Demarion Ross pulls up in the paint, hits the shot, and gives the Lakers a lead. 74-73. Pressure in the backcourt. 30 seconds to go in this game. Eston Bethel. Bethel driving to the hoop. Off glass, no good. Rebound to Wiederick, though. Otters get new life. And a whistle and a timeout for Matt Johnson. Matt Johnson taking the timeout. Otters now with 1 remaining. Detroit Lakes, no timeouts remaining. Boy, that's a big rebound by Cam Wiederick and Fergus Falls. So Otters going to be inbound. Right side of the basket, and 20 seconds remaining, 18 remaining on the shot clock, so they can almost run it down to nothing. Outstanding ball game. Otters come back late in the first or second half, tie this game at 67. Look at the scoring totals in this game. Eston Bethel right now with 24 points, 6 points for Cam Wiederick, 8 points for Nolan Festool, 5 for Micah Johnson, 20 points tonight for Jacob Jentz. That's the Fergus Falls scoring. Detroit Lakes, Dawson Von Ruden with 22. 18 points now for Demarion Ross. He's had a nice second half. Otters basketball, trailing by 1, 74-73. Later start tonight. Had the Laker girls taking on Frazee tonight. That's what delayed our start here a little bit. Frazee getting the win in that one, 82-54. See what Detroit Lakes comes out with defensively. Still a man-to-man set. Eston Bethel will inbound. Right of the basket. Timeout being called. Final timeout being used by the Otters. Timeouts, as usual, being brought to you by Lake Region Healthcare. Good move by Eston. Still showing 1 timeout remaining for Fergus Falls. I'm not sure that's the case. I think they may want to take that one off. Both teams in bonus situation. Detroit Lakes with 17 fouls. Otters with 9. Means you send DL to the line. If it's not an offensive foul, that means you're looking at a double bonus situation for them. Post-game show coming up, if we get there. Quality Player of the Game brought to you by Quality Toyota and Lake Country Graphics. A lot of candidates on that Fergus Falls side tonight. Dawson Von Ruden, meanwhile, for Detroit Lakes, 5 3-pointers to his credit tonight, on his way to a team-high 22. So Detroit Lakes came out man-to-man, as they have been all night, really, in the half court. Otters will inbound. Bethel will trigger. Jentz, Wiederick, Fellstuhl, Micah Johnson in a box set. Flip it in. That's Jentz. Here's Nolan Fellstuhl for Micah Johnson. 15 seconds to go. Here's Micah into the paint. Goes up, off balance shot. Rolls off. No good. Rebound Detroit Lakes. Foul in the backcourt. Might be Micah Johnson. And Detroit Lakes a chance to ice it on free throws. Micah Johnson picks up his 5th. So he's fouled out of this ball game. Finishes the night with 13 points. 2 free throws, double bonus coming here for Detroit Lakes. That's why Fergus is all in the huddle right now. Otters able to take that 20 seconds. Eli Fullhart's checked in for the Otters, so Micah Johnson's fouled out with 13 points. Eli Fullhart's into the ball game. He's got 2 points on the night. Got that extra size inside. And Demarion Ross at the free throw line with 18 points so far on the night. He's 2 of 2 from the line. In and out, no good. Otters still with life. 74-73. Just 9 seconds remaining in this game. Marion Ross trying to make this a 2-point lead for the Lakers. Second free throw. Gets that one. 2-point lead for DL. 75-73. Otters with just 9 points. No timeouts remaining. Up ahead, Bethel. Here's Fullhart. He's going to pop the 3. Oh, it came up short. Rebound to Ross. 2 seconds, 1, and that's going to do it. What a finish in Detroit Lakes. In overtime, Detroit Lakes holds off the Otters. Final score 75-73 on the Park Region scoreboard. Park Region service beyond the connection. Otters fought hard tonight, led by 4 at halftime, tied at regulation at 67. Detroit Lakes comes up with the big shots down the stretch tonight in overtime, 75-73 over Fergus Falls this evening. Postgame show coming up in a moment. We'll be back, recap scoring and a whole lot more. This is high school basketball with the Otters on KJ Country 96.5.
Need custom tees, hats, or uniforms? Let Lake Country Graphics bring your brand to life with top quality screen printing and embroidery. Located on North Union Avenue in Fergus Falls. Call 998-4027 today.
Lake Region Healthcare joins you in shouting loud, cheering strong, and jumping for joy. Keeping our community healthy and spirited is the top priority at Lake Region Healthcare.
It's time to replace your old furnace. That old one has been a drain on your energy bill for far too long. Let Otters Plumbing and Heating replace your old inefficient furnace with a new carrier system and help you and your checkbook rest easy. Otters Plumbing and Heating, Fergus Falls.
Hi, I'm Heather Hickman, Executive Director for LB Homes in Fergus Falls. Seasons may change, but one truth remains: our compassionate, Christ-centered care at LB Browen Home. For over a century, we have served as His hands and feet. Every resident is welcomed as family, embraced with the dignity and kindness that Christ calls us to share. So whether you are seeking peace of mind or a trusted home for a loved one, you'll find it here. LB Browen Home, rooted in faith, serving with compassion, trusted for generations.
Fresh and Fancy at Mama Sheena's has a way better option than some overprocessed junk from the back of your freezer. They've got take and bake meals made fresh with real ingredients, and all you have to do is stick it in the oven. Fresh and Fancy, saving moms one dinner at a time.
For over 50 years, Ottertail Coaches has safely carried kids to school, to games, and back home again. Trusted by generations, they're proud to serve Fergus Falls and the surrounding area. Ottertail Coaches, safety, service, and dependability.
What's your number?
We've driven 57 miles to Quality Toyota to get a great deal. and we've done it 13 times.
And welcome to our post-game show. Boy, what a ball game tonight here at the Lakeshore Fieldhouse in Detroit Lakes. Otters led 38-34 at halftime, trailed late in this game in regulation. They come back on a 6-0 run. Then Eston Bethel, as they were trailing by 2, ties the game at 67 for the Otters. They send it to overtime, and then Detroit Lakes comes up big in the extra session, and they win it tonight. Final score 75-73. Fergus Falls now 7-11 overall, 5-7 in the Central Lakes Conference. Detroit Lakes now 11-5 overall. They're 5-3 in the Central Lakes Conference. As we recap the scoring for both of these teams tonight, Otters got some great all-around efforts. They kind of came in spurts tonight. Eston Bethel, the 5'10 sophomore, finishing with a team-high 24 points tonight. Cam Wiederick finishing with 6. 8 points for Nolan Feldstuhl, 13 points for Micah Johnson before falling out in overtime. Isaac Mack provided some nice minutes in the first half for Fergus Falls. Both scoreless, but still played a pretty solid defense, did some nice job rebounding out there. Jacob Jentz finishing with 20 points tonight for the Otters. He was just sound all the way around, played a great inside game. Nice job to see him finish at the hoop tonight as well, including going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of 8 from the free throw line tonight for his 20 points. Eli Fullhart off the bench tonight for the Otters with a total of 2 points for the team total for Fergus Falls of 73. For Detroit Lakes, their scoring column looks something like this. Davian Bauer finishing with 8 points. Demarion Ross goes for 19, 14 of those coming in the second half, 3 of 4 on free throws down the stretch. That was big. Eli Hatch goes for 8 points tonight for Detroit Lakes, including a couple three-pointers. Big thing in the first half, and in the second for that matter, Dawson Von Ruden, 5 three-pointers on his way to a team-high 22 points tonight for Detroit Lakes. Caden Chasborn comes off the bench, 3 three-pointers for him for a total of 9. Brock Jones goes scoreless. Owen Lipton with 2 points. Brendan Severson, a nice second half for the Lakers, finishing with 7. Ben Buboltz goes scoreless tonight for the Lakers, but they finished with that team total of 75 points tonight. So in overtime, Detroit Lakes wins it, 75-73. And when we come back on our post-game show, our Quality Player of the Game, brought to you by Quality Toyota and Lake Country Graphics. This is the post-game show, and you're listening to it on KJ Country 96.5.
The 2025 model year closeout sale continues at Minnesota Motor Company in Fergus Falls. They have 2 remaining Buick Envistas that would definitely cheer up your winter blues. With these great deals, you can get into a new, sporty, reliable vehicle for just over $25,000. Buick, exceptional by design.
Minnesota Motor.
South Pebble Lake Road, Fergus Falls.
Make OSPTI your choice for outpatient rehabilitation and sports injuries with locations in Fergus Falls and Breckenridge. Orthopedic and sports physical therapy is the right choice for your recovery. Live your best life. Trust the experts at OSPTI.
Fresh and Fancy at Mama Sheena's has a way better option than some overprocessed junk from the back of your freezer. They've got take and bake meals made fresh with real ingredients, and all you have to do is stick it in the oven. Fresh and Fancy, saving moms one dinner at a time.
At Fergus Falls Monument Company, Ryan and Mike want you to design a personal memorial for your loved one that will fully express your personal sentiment and that of your loved one. Fergus Falls Monument on Pebble Lake Road, online, foreverstonememorials.com.
At American Federal Bank, they're proud sponsors of local high school athletics. Just like their student athletes, American Federal is here to go the extra mile for you. American Federal Bank, investing in our community one play at a time. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Need custom tees, hats, or uniforms? Let Lake Country Graphics bring your brand to life with top quality screen printing and embroidery. Located on North Union Avenue in Fergus Falls. Call 998-4027 today.
Here's to a great season for all our favorite high school athletes. American Legion is a favorite too and serves up everyone's favorite barbecued ribs. American Legion of Fergus Falls, open each Wednesday through Saturday on Pebble Lake Road in Fergus Falls.
Otters come up short tonight. Forced overtime, 4-point lead at halftime, tied at 67 after regulation. but fall in overtime to Detroit Lakes 75-73. Otters now 7-11 on the season and 5-7 in the Central Lakes Conference. Great effort. Again, a few more turnovers. That was one of the keys to the game. Maybe cost the Otters, but great comeback. And this team, they've competed all season long. That's what Matt Johnson's told us. Just coming up a little bit short tonight, losing 75-73. Time now for our Quality Player of the Game, brought to you by Quality Toyota and Lake Country Graphics. And, a couple of good candidates on the Fergus Falls side, especially Jacob Jentz, the big guy in the middle in the first half. 9 points in the first half. He finished with 20 tonight, including a good effort at the free throw line. That was key. Player of the game, though, that's going to go to Eston Bethel, the outstanding 5'10 sophomore guard. Got the game forced to overtime at 67, did what he could. He finishes with a team high and game high 24 points tonight. So Eston Bethel is the quality player of the game, brought to you by Quality Toyota and Lake Country Graphics. Lake Country Graphics is your apparel source for personalized printed or embroidered clothing and accessories. Go to yourapparelsource.com/Lake Country Graphics. Lake Country Graphics in Fergus Falls. Give them a call, 998-4027. Upcoming schedules for both of these teams. The Otters return home on Saturday afternoon against West Fargo. That's a 2 p.m. tip-off at the Roosevelt Gym. And if you like physical basketball, that's what West Fargo is going to bring to the game. West Fargo, a very physical ball club traditionally. Otters will then host St. Cloud Apollo on Tuesday evening back at the Kennedy Gymnasium. And next up for Detroit Lakes, they travel to Sartell on Saturday for a Central Lakes Conference matchup. Our Leighton Media broadcast schedule, that will continue tomorrow night. Boys basketball with Ashby traveling to Ross. They will have that one for you right here, on KBRF. Are we on KBRF tomorrow night? Where are we going tomorrow? Let me check this really quick. That's going to be, that'll be on KBRF. Meanwhile, Hillcrest and Underwood will be playing on channel 977. That's a big one. 7:15, top two teams in Section 6A meeting once again. Rockets looking for a little revenge from their loss to the Comets earlier in the season. And then on Saturday, we'll have the Otter Boys in West Fargo, 2 p.m. on KBRF. Want to thank our sponsors as usual. Starting lineups brought to you by Nelson Auto Center, Lake Region Healthcare sponsoring our timeouts. Park Region, our scoreboard sponsor, Park Region, service beyond the connection. Minnesota Motor Company with our halftime show. Of course, our Running Stitches Embroidery, the long board with us tonight. And, of course, our Quality Player of the Game, brought to you by Quality Toyota and Lake Country Graphics. Want to thank Matt Johnson helping us out on the pregame show. Always appreciate his time. Thanks to our on-site producer here tonight, Dave Bishop. And always thanks to Craig Olson for all the scheduling that he does for us all season long. And, of course, thanks to all of you for tuning in tonight. Once again, final score tonight in boys basketball in overtime, Detroit Lakes 75 and the Otters 73. Until next time, I'm Bob Rohrs. Have a great night and so long from Detroit Lakes High School. This has been Fergus Falls Otters boys basketball on KJ Country 96.5. Good night, everyone.
Thank you for joining us for a special KBRF Radio sports streaming presentation. Tonight's game is proudly brought to you by Quality Toyota and your Quality Toyota Player of the Game, Nelson Auto Center and your Nelson starting lineups, Park Region and your Park Region scoreboard, Lake Region Healthcare and your Lake Region timeout, the Minnesota Motor Company and your Minnesota Motor Company halftime show, Viking Cafe and your Viking Cafe keys to the game, Orthopedic Sports and Physical Therapy Incorporated, Fergus Falls Monument, Otter Tail Coaches, Fresh and Fancy at Mama Sheena's, American Federal Bank, FM Bank, Service Food, Unsted Plumbing and Heating, Splash Express, American Legion Post number 30, Lake Country Graphics, LB Homes, and my Running Stitches. We hope you enjoyed tonight's sports streaming presentation. You can find this game and others by going to KBRFradio.com and clicking on sports streaming, the KBRF Radio YouTube channel,